Hello and welcome to Retro Raven Game. How's everybody doing? Alright, so we're on to a brand new adventure. This time we're doing Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York, and eventually we'll do some of the other stuff too, related to it. Now, I know that Vampire the Masquerade has gone through a whole lot of changes over the years. My personal favorite is the V2 version, not the more recent V5, and the By Night Studios LARP version. I played that for many years, and I enjoyed every second of it. And now we get to play this game, and I cannot wait. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to start. All right, so first off, we get to choose a clan. Oh man, we don't get to choose any of my personal favorites, which is Tremere, and La Sombra. That's sad, but maybe they'll pop up in some of the other games. All right, I am gonna choose Corporate Executive. This is gonna be like a super fighty character, or a Ventrue, which is like probably gonna have some bureaucratic abilities, versus a Toreador. Let's see. Full of art, romance, and cruelty. Let's go with the Ventrue. So let's see. Go. I guess I'm gonna use mostly the keyboard. I'm not used to that. Right. Let's get into it. So for those out there, let me know what your favorite Vampire the Masquerade clan is. New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate when I was human, I would have told you it's superstitious bullshit, that we are all designers of our own destinies. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face that you could have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened in the very same place you're standing right now, by the way. Fate? You decide. So I'm not sure if the story changes based on what clan that you choose. I know virtually nothing about this game specifically. So we're going to find out together. Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen a little longer. See, my mistake was that I flew too close to the sun. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see it glow again. It was incandescent. I was incandescent myself, excuse me. I was a hot shit. I had it all. Money, looks, confidence, connections, men, women, career, spark in my eye, the one you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of my light erupting from within and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided that would fit me much better. She was a 9th generation Kindred, just like you, an apex predator. So what that means is the lower the generation, the more powerful they are. And every childer is one step higher. So a 9th generation would make a 10th generation vampire. She probably enjoyed teaching me the peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. Such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggart and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about fate, a message saying, you're eternally doomed to be at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom, it was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me, just her amusing subject. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. You might have wondered how I've learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. My answer is, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving you here straight from the plane and having you wake up in such an unfamiliar place was a little desperate, and I do apologize for it. But so rare for you to visit New York 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you're here. I understand that you still have a meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much, don't get me wrong. But precisely because I value it, that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I trust to do the job well, and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy asking you to breach the rules of our society like this. You might think it's impossible to get away with it unpunished. But this is New York, and I don't know about the other cities, but in this one, fate really exists. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. This is how it begins. Your phone rings. It's boss, again. The setting sun that filled your high-rise office an hour ago is gone. The city looks like an ocean of light from up here, spreading for miles to the north. You pick up. You're about to call it a day. Forget about the world of fintech. Decompress at home. No dice. One of the investors wants to meet you. His voice is always the perfect mix of authority and sleaze. He'll come by your office in an hour. You look at the clock. An hour? Gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I know, but stick around. He's a heavyweight. You'll want to make a good impression. Fine. You grit your teeth a little. Boss hangs up. 2 hours. Might as well pour another coffee into yourself and figure out how to best use this to your advantage. You suspect that everyone knows that no, you're actually not happy with your current position. That in fact, you feel squished against the glass ceiling that comes with the territory. Sure, your idiot superior might have gotten the job only because he's CEO's golfing buddy, but you're gonna put an unholy amount of work into your advancement. Times where you'd laugh off the idea of staying at the office until 9 p.m. No, not me. You had a partner to go home to, the nightly Netflix and chill ritual to perform, complete with pizza or Chinese takeout. Ever since you moved up the ladder, though, your hours have only gotten longer. Food, mostly at the company cafeteria. They still have those? Sometimes takeout, always in a rush. You praise the heavens for your crazy metabolism and dread the day it finally decides to give up on you. Oh, don't we all? Rest, at this point, the cleaning lady who takes care of your apartment probably spends more time in your bedroom than you do. You flash back to your boss quoting Shakespeare to impress his new, extremely attractive, and uncomfortably young secretary. For some must watch while some must sleep, so runs the world away. Drinks? Mostly with colleagues, and they all pretty much hate you at this point. Another flashback. At this time, the most profitable quarter in the company's history, still, the board decided that layoffs were in order. Hear that? Your boss didn't feel like letting people know in person, so he passed that privilege to you. Gotta hand it to him. He always knew how to pick his battles. But maybe, just maybe, tonight is the night it's all gonna change. You decide to play the good looks angle. Nothing too slutty. You leave your blouse slightly unbuttoned, check if your ass looks good as you remembered it in your pencil skirt. Mirror says yes. It's not something you're proud of, but you become too jaded to care. Knowing your luck, the investors is going to be one of two types. A self-obsessed must-wanna-be in his 20s, or fat old pervert drenched in cologne. You hear the elevator ding. Time to get this show on the road. You take one final look in the mirror and fix your hair as the footsteps echo across the empty hallway. The man who approaches your office is not what you expect. He's slick, to be sure, but he seems a bit more refined than your usual company man. Expensive suit, matching tie, shirt, confident in his stride. surprisingly good look. Good evening. I hope this unforeseen visit isn't too much of an inconvenience. Dude, look at the eyes! That's not a good sign. God, that voice. You're taken aback by how smooth and strong it is, and his eyes, steel blue, cold, intense. He's all business, professional, treats you in a manner that's appropriate to your stature. When he speaks, he actually looks you in the eye and not at your cleavage. He asks some questions about your work, tells you how he noticed your input after talking to the CEO, another golfing buddy, and comes charmingly close to calling your boss an incompetent doofus. All the while, you try to guess his accent, can't quite place it. European? Sure, but where from? I know I've kept you long enough, but would you indulge me and join me for a drink? Of course. For a minute there, it seemed like he wasn't that kind of guy. But what the hell? You go with it. He seemed nice enough. Besides, it's not like you have other plans. An investor has a limo waiting downstairs, and a driver takes you to a high-end restaurant in Williamsburg. A seat is waiting for you in the deluxe lounge. Just the two of you. You talk about this and that. Your companions seem to have a knack for history. So tell me, what would you do if you had full control of the company? You almost choke on your wine. This is your chance. You say what's been on your mind for months, but hide it behind a veneer of professional corpo babble. Refocusing, listening to your instincts for once, restructuring, kicking out your boss, aggressively pursuing new markets, getting the hell away from all these horrible people. He likes the sound of that. He leans forward, his eyes flash with intensity. It's something else, strange emotion that wasn't there before. You'll do just fine. His words echo inside your head as you black out. Yeah, that sounds creepy. You wake up, God only knows how much later. As you try to piece together what happened, you hear a familiar voice. The investor, or whoever the hell he is, talking to somebody. You suddenly recall snippets, fragmented memories. His sapphire eyes intently locked on yours, his teeth suddenly longer, sharper. Something else, a feeling on your neck that takes you back. Company trip to Florida, a sweaty room, cutie from HR who doesn't work there anymore. Then, darkness. Yes, I'm done here. Consider my debt paid. By the way, this clearly gets pretty dark, but anybody that knows World of Darkness and Vampire the Masquerade knows this is a dark setting. The investor pushes the other figure aside and walks away from the lounge, barely bothering to look at you. The door locks behind him. Some time passes before you find the strength to get up from the couch. Touch your lips. Blood? That asshole hit you? You try to stand up, but your head is pounding and your stomach is like a heavy knot. Pulling you down, you didn't have that much to drink. Maybe you spiked your wine? This is bad. You frantically check your clothes. Pristine. Doesn't make any sense. All of a sudden, feeling hits you like anything you've ever felt. Fall to the floor, writhing in an all-encompassing pain. So this is the embrace. Hunger. The kind that makes your insides burn. That cannot be denied. You try to calm yourself down with a breathing exercise. They taught you with some bullshit mindfulness course. That's corporate crap. That's when it hits you. You're not breathing. Holy shit. Your heart should be jumping out of your chest with that realization. It's not moving. Not even a beat. The door unlocks. You hear a startled voice. A young man in a waiter's outfit, his accent thick with an Eastern European harshness, leans over and asks you if you're all right. For a brief moment, you wonder what the hell he's doing. Everything is wrong. Then his smell reaches your nostrils. It's intoxicating. Everything feels right again. He holds out his arm to help you stand up. You grab it firmly with both hands, then you bite down. You sink your teeth right next to the old school pinup tattoo of Rita Hayworth on his forearm. Nom nom nom. It takes you a moment to process what you're doing. Part of you wants to break away, but the stronger voice implores you to keep drinking. One thing becomes clear. You are definitely enjoying this. So, one thing that's always been in Vampire the Masquerade, regardless of the particular volume of it, is that vampires have something called a beast, that inner monster you could say. And it's always been a fight to fight with your humanity versus that thing. So this is clearly demonstrating that. He only struggles a little and quickly falls to his knees. You can see his eyes now, pale blue, confused. You only bring yourself to let him go once he collapses on the floor. Your bite leaves a mess on his forearm. Poor Rita. All bloodied, missing half her face. Did you just drink this guy's blood? You spit out a piece of torn flesh. Oh, a little bit in the teeth. That's why? Where? What was it in that wine? Barely able to focus your heart and lungs, still motionless, you reach for your phone and dial 911. Operator. 911, operator, what's your emergency? Ooh, okay, finally we have some choices. So we have my heart stopped, I can't breathe, or I killed somebody. Let's go with I can't breathe. That seems a more kind of middle of the road. I can't breathe. Ma'am, where are you right now? The door to the lounge swings open. The man who enters is not the one that brought you here, though there are similarities. He's tall for one, broad-shouldered, handsome, dressed in an immaculate suit, but his skin is darker, and the look on his face tells you he is not here to negotiate a deal. He notices a smartphone in your hand. Pass me the phone if you want to live. Oh, that's like a super serious expression. The man's voice is persuasive, calm, but carrying a clear threat. He's got the aura of viciously efficient corporate shark. You find it hard to argue with him. Ma'am? Hello? I apologize for wasting your time. My new colleagues got drunk and now trying to impress everyone with their antics. Good night. Disconnects the call, places your phone in his pocket. For whatever reason, you can barely take your eyes off the stranger. Hypnotizing as his presence is, though, it's highly discomfiting. Good evening, miss. I'm here to pick you up. All right, so let's see. We got, who are you? Pick me up, or call an ambulance. Let's go with, who are you? Who are you? I'm your guide through this perilous night. Stranger approaches the waiter and examines his body. Critical condition, but he might live. Anyway, he then sets his sights back on you. I know this is all new to you, but I've dealt with hundreds of strays like you. Going by experience, they tend to fall into two categories. First, there are smart ones who carefully obey my every word. Don't try to pull off anything stupid. I always get them where they need to be, safe and sound. And then there's the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who try to contact somebody secretly without permission. The troublemakers who try to run off or make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, excuse me, most of them never reached their destination at all. So that's a hell of a threat. His voice becomes slightly bored, monotone. You can tell he's given this speech before, likely dozens of times. So you see, while I generally consider myself pretty smart, I'm also a Mets fan. It's my one true weakness, one that inspired me to come up with a three-strike system when dealing with pups like you. If you get on my nerves once or twice, well, I understand. Not all of us perform well in stressful situations. But, cross me 3 times, and you're out. No excuses, no forgiveness, no mercy. As he's talking, he slowly approaches you, adding a bit of theatrical swagger to his walk. Eventually, he leans in, deliberately invading your personal space. You realize this is a test. He's daring you to do something about it. 3 strikes, and you're out. Say, I understand. Now, every atom of your being screams for you to obey the authority. Ooh, okay. So, I could play along, or I could sort of tell him to F off. So, our choice 1, I understand. 2, tell him to fuck you. Or 3, what are you even talking about? So, let's play along for now. See what comes with it. Stick to that tone and you'll do just fine. Moving on, is there anyone you'd want to inform of your current situation? Tell them you're alright? He flashes his fangs briefly, and for some reason, the sight sends a chill down your spine. There's something very wrong about him. Someone closest to you? So, you could tell the boss, which she hates, clearly. Tell him there's no one. I don't think the character has anybody. Or if I say I'd rather not answer, that's probably a strike one. I don't know anything about the actual character. Um, the right answer is probably, well, the right answer for the game is probably saying there's nobody, and he'll probably let me do whatever. And if I tell him I'd rather not say, um, it's probably a strike. However, if I say my boss, they'll probably take him out for her. Let's go with the boss. Boss, I suppose. Stranger squints. Oh, okay. Okay, so he clearly knows I just lied. Forgive me, but I assume your relationship is more than professional? You immediately give him a piercing glare. Oh, no, God, no. Man, that pig? Don't be ridiculous. You said he was the closest person to you. See, caught me in a lie. You asked if I have anyone I'd like to tell I'm all right. The answer is yes. People at my office. I don't want to lose my job, so I'd prefer to let them know I didn't just go off on a bender. No family, lover, friends. Your blank stare tells him the whole story. He immediately stops prying and gives you something worse than a look of pity, a look of honest compassion. Okay, so I guess maybe that was the right answer. Well, makes things simpler. Just let me be crystal clear, just in case. From this point on, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up under, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure those laws are respected. So in Vampire Society, there's a couple of laws that all the vampires like. Well, okay, not all the vampires. Ones of a particular sort, like collective, uh, follow, and which I suspect in New York might be that particular one. We'll get to it if they show it. Um, you are forbidden from letting anyone know you're alive. Well, alive. You are forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes looking for you, it's over for both you and them. Okay, so can't let anybody know. That practice tone again. You put your poker face on and listen in silence. So unless you want your boss to end up on the bottom of a Hudson, I'd suggest you cooperate. Well, I don't think the character cares about the boss that much, so much as, well, she's going to be done in, if... Don't tempt me. It's a very millennial response, isn't it? He smiles, revealing his fangs again. There's something absolutely sickening about it. Suddenly you feel overwhelmed by a sense of exhaustion. You pass out. I get the feeling that's going to be pretty common. When you regain your senses, you find yourself in the stranger's arms. The man is holding you as you would a spouse who had a little too much to drink. Try to break free, he holds you close and gives you a cautioning look. Only when you cease your struggles does he let you go. So, only now do you notice a change of scenery. It's kind of a nice bar. You find yourself at a fancy lobby, right next to the elevator. Place is virtually empty, save for the single concierge and some cleaning staff. Your companion gestures at the concierge as you pass. He picks up the phone. Elevator arrives, the door opens, the man motions you towards the cabin. After you. Oh. Okay, so we have another choice. I'm going to scream, I'm not going anywhere, or where are we going? I think I'll ask where we're going. So, to a safe place. That's all you need to know. Trust me, you don't want to make this difficult. Just get in. If I call for help, call for help, demand to be let go, or step inside the elevator. I could continue to play along, which might give me more of a better chance. I don't want to start off on a bad foot, because So let's demand to be let go. I don't know what game you're playing, but I've had enough. I demand you let me go immediately, or there'll be consequence. Ooh. Hesitates for a moment. Very brief moment. The only consequence here is another strike. Oh. Okay, that's strike one. Get in the elevator. I won't ask you again. Okay, let's get in the elevator. Going against your instincts, you enter the cabin. Smooth jazz is playing over the speakers as the elevator starts its descent. You're dazed, panicky, but somehow locked in place. On the other hand, you find a stranger's presence oddly soothing. On the other hand, you can feel your body tensing with stress. Can't help but to think back to the young waiter, the doe-eyed look on his face, confused look he gave you just before. No, it's better not to think about it. Plus, you have other things to worry about, like the fact that you're being kidnapped. I mean, going to a secondary location, not good. Cabin door opens the same garage you arrived at with investors some hours ago. The man shows you a black Cadillac Escalade. Fancy car. I know what you're thinking. Getting into a car with some strange man? Boy, sure seems like a dumb idea. Maybe I can make a run for it. Might be able to lose him. So let me be perfectly clear. Your best bet is to get in, relax, and enjoy the ride. Okay, so new choices. The waiter. What do you want? I have money. So, none of those is just to get in. So let's ask what he wants. What do you want from me? To meet your new superiors. You'll see. Superiors? Is that what a hostile takeover looks like nowadays? No more questions. Get in the car, please. I mean, at least he said please. Now, I could make a run for it. It's probably going to go poorly. Seems like the worst idea ever. Yeah, but the man's made it very clear you have no choice in the matter. Oh, okay, so get to know this guy. What's your name? I've got friends. You gonna hurt me? So let's ask him his name. Can I at least know your name? You'll know it when the time is right. He takes a glance at his expensive-looking watch. Listen, you really need to quit stalling. We're on a bit of a schedule here. The sun comes up in an hour or two. Don't intend to be here when it does. Oh, okay, so the sun? Schedule? What is this about? Let's go with sun. What does it matter when the sun comes up? Ah, you really don't know, do you? Good thing I got here when I did. He opens the car door, gestures towards it. You see no point in delaying the inevitable. In you go. The door locks behind you. Cadillac is almost entirely dark. Side windows seem light-proof. I mean, that's generally a good idea for a vampire. The man gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives away without another word. How am I alive? Is this a joke? And did I die? Let's go with did I die. Depends on your definition of death. Listen, I realize you have many questions. Tomorrow, you'll get some answers. But tonight, you need to do what I say. All right? I need some quiet, please. So he's at least pretty polite. That's a good thing. You feel too confused to protest. You stay silent for the rest of the ride, even as more questions bubble up to the surface, one of them being, did you actually kill somebody tonight? Alright, staring out the window, you find it hard to focus and quickly lose track of where you're headed. You can only tell that you haven't left Manhattan. Another underground parking. Almost featureless. Empty, the car stops and the man opens the door for you. We're here. The stranger walks you to a nearby door. He opens it and motions at you to get in. Go on. Make yourself comfortable. If you get hungry again, take a look in the fridge. I'll pick you up tomorrow. And you'll get answers. He's being pretty forthright. Behind the door is a small room. No windows, just a simple bed, and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. Oh, this is a pretty Spartan room. Small fridge is humming in the corner, accompanied by a rattling AC fan on the wall. Okay. New choices. You're leaving me here. That's not happening. Where are you going? So, I'm gonna start with, you're leaving me here? That's it? You're just gonna leave me here? That's it. For now, at least. Look, this room is your best chance of seeing another night. I realize you've been put in a problematic situation, and it's not entirely your fault. Cooperate, and you might still make it. You'll learn more tomorrow, but for the time being, get in, get cozy. He gestures inside the room. Oh, they're giving me so many options to try and just like run away. It's not gonna happen. There's no way. Let's step into the room. Oh, that's a horrible looking room. Step inside. Stranger nods. Good night. He locks the door behind you. It looks very sturdy. So this looks like a basically a storage unit. You open the fridge. There's a single plastic bag there, filled with a red liquid. No label. Tomato soup? Feels sick to your stomach. Best to leave it for now. You lie down on the bed. It's a simple mattress on a metal frame. At least it's not too filthy. You think back to how the evening began. This investor, is he friends with a dark-skinned stranger who picked you up from the restaurant? What happens now? Unable to relax, you spend an hour or so playing out various scenarios in your head. Eventually, you decide to give in and let exhaustion take over. Whatever tomorrow brings, you'd rather face it well rested. Plus, no way in hell your boss isn't going to notice your absence tomorrow. That, and maybe some of the restaurant staff will feel a pang of conscience. Someone will notify the police. Someone will find you. Right? You flash back to the waiter's tattoo. Buddy Rita Hayworth winking at you over a pale mess of a wound. You did this. You bit him. Drank his blood. And it tasted good. What if you could never go home again? You're so tired. Your entire body tenses up one last time, and before you know it, you drift away to oblivion. So, regardless of whether or not you know whether the sun is out, like, once it happens, you just sort of knock out, according to, Vampire the Masquerade. So, on the opposite, you wake up. That in itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. Didn't feel quite like sleep. More like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how death feels like. The room is unchanged. Lamp is still on. AC is still rattling. Refrigerator still humming. Take a look at your watch. It's almost 9 p.m. You've slept for 17 hours straight. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone. You feel no thumping in your chest. Does that qualify as dead if you're still conscious? I mean, clearly she's not genre savvy. You're not sure about that, but you're certain about one thing. You are hungry. It's not your stomach rumbling, though. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, back of your head. You open the fridge. The bag is still in there. Take a closer look. If it's soup, then its color and texture off. You pull the cork out, take a whiff. You recognize the smell immediately. Holy shit. There's no mistaking it. It's bagged blood. The smell is faint. You remember some situations in the past where you found it nauseating, but now it's almost... No, not almost. It's enticing. Ooh, okay. So now I have the option. Put it back, and then probably be super hungry later, or drink it, and then, kind of appease the beast for the moment. Let's go with drink the blood. It feels wrong, but right now, there's barely anything in your life that doesn't. To hell with it! You pour a bit of the liquid in your mouth. It tastes like shit. It's coppery, thick, clings to your tongue, and the inside of your mouth like a film of dirt. You swallow it, regardless. Taste is foul, but somehow you kind of want more of it. As you take a second sip, sucking the blood out of the bag, you feel something pull in your insides. You double over. You're gonna barf. You instinctively cover your mouth, looking for a place to vomit. Before you find it, a dark red wave washes over your hand and your fingers, hits the floor, splattering in a huge thick. Oh, gross! You keep heaving for a moment. Nothing is coming out. Not blood, not bile, not even spit. But still, something in your body wants to push out. Push it all out. Every drop. Okay, so that's probably all the processes, just get everything out. As you recover, trying to wipe droplets of regurgitated blood from your dress, you hear the lock click. See the door standing open. Standing there is a well-dressed stranger you met yesterday. Immaculate suit again. That predatory look, like a hawk on a hunt. Somehow more relaxed tonight. So, like a tamed hawk, maybe. Good evening. How was... He notices the spatter. Your red hand, a sick look on your face. He barely contains a smirk. Oh, was the catering unable to satisfy your exquisite taste? Apologies. So, one of the things about Ventrue specifically is that part of their curse is that they have a very specific type of blood that they eat, and it varies from vampire to vampire, but unless they have that specific type, they can't just keep it down. So, I'm curious to see what it is that is the character's type. So, offer him a drink. Was it really blood? Or that was foul? Let's try offer him a drink. You can't tell me you can drink this. He takes the bag off your hands, pours all of its contents into his mouth. He closes his eyes, theatrically, savoring the taste. When he opens them, a few seconds later, he looks sharper, energized. Not all of us are picky eaters. Come on, we've got places to be. I should have some water and a towel in the back of the car so you can clean yourself up. The car is humming in an empty parking lot just outside the door of the cramped room you have spent the day in. The man motions you to it politely with a stern look on his face. Okay, so I can rush him, get in the car, or hijack the car. See, again, they're giving me all sorts of choices that could go so poorly. Let's just get in the car and let's just see where this leads. It's not like I have a choice, right? Correct. Your cooperation is appreciated, nevertheless. You take the back seat again. Doors lock. Stranger takes the wheel and starts the car. You drive in silence for a while. From time to time, you keep trying to catch glimpses of familiar streets or landmarks through the blackened windows, but it's of little use. The car is also soundproofed, so all you can hear is a bit of traffic coming and the car's engine. The driver doesn't say anything. Seems focused on the road. Check your door handle. Yeah, it's locked all right. Piece of dark glass separating you and the front of the car looks too sturdy. There's nothing left to do but wait. You didn't have time to think about that before, but you realize now that you're hungry? No, not exactly. It's not a rumbling stomach that grabs your attention. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen. Stretch your chest, your throat, back of your head, like last time. You become restless. This is essentially a kidnapping. Yeah. Whatever this guy says about its purpose doesn't change the fact that you're being held against your will. And you're not used to following orders when you can't delegate them to somebody else. You feel a need to get a semblance of control over the situation, so you decide to prove yourself useful. Ooh, okay. So, I know people in high places. I have a worthwhile set of skill set, or I can get you a lot of money. Let's go with I have a worthwhile skill set. Listen, I'm an investment advisor, and I have a lot of experience in fintech. Whatever your organization is, I might find use for me. I don't have any idea what fintech is, and honestly, I don't care to find out. Short pause. I'll be frank. Hey, Frank. Currently, you're in no position to offer anybody anything. The sooner you accept that, the better. Ooh, okay. Curse him out. Call him a nobody. ridicule his lack of ambition. Ooh, damn. Okay, all of these are pretty sassy. All right, how about call him a nobody? I don't want to curse him out. Oh, and I'm sure nobody, a low-level enforcer like you, knows a thing or two about being in no position to offer anybody anything. You push the right buttons, he gives you an absolutely furious stare through the rearview mirror. Oh, damn. Oh, okay. For a second, you spot a crack in his professional demeanor. You don't know anything about me. You have no idea where I'm coming from or where I'm headed. For a few seconds, quietly fumes. Your attitude won't help you make any friends, and in your current position, you definitely need one. Consider that, preferably in silence. That dull hunger strikes again. The powerlessness hurts you. You're used to people listening to you, or pretending to care about your demands at least. The driver doesn't play that game, and it annoys you to no end. Takes you to another 20 minutes or so to get your destination. As the door opens, you try to get your bearings, and you're still in New York. That much is certain. Queens, maybe? After me. No sudden movements. Please. You approach a nice-looking building that houses a two-story gallery called the Art Hole. Two large men in suits flank the door on both sides, and then give you your companion a nod as you approach. Prompted by the stranger guiding you, you walk inside. The gallery is full, which is unusual at this hour, to say the least. Oh, I like the music. About 24 faces fill the showroom, and a number of waiters navigating the gathering, serving drinks. All of them are beneath the guests' attention. The visitors are well dressed for the most part, but it's unclear what they've gathered for. Nobody seems to be particularly interested in the art pieces, the walls, and the atmosphere is polite, unnaturally so. Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their glances are varied. You see open contempt on a few faces, and animated interest on others. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you, as if wishing to appraise your worth. This reminds you of company meetings. You, the only woman in the room, silently judged not on her merits, but on her standing, the list, passed in clandestine, however you spell that one, email threads between your male coworkers, until HR found out. That is, not the most pleasant experience, but there's no denying it taught you resilience. When others would cower, you now straighten up. When others would turn their gaze, you meet the eyes of the gallery's guests with confidence. Ooh, the woman. Curious who this is. Good evening, Kadir, and to you, child. The noble, cold voice takes you out of your head and back to the situation at hand. The gallery, crowd of strangers, you being brought here against your will. For what purpose? The room awaits your response. Ooh, okay. So now I get to talk to this person. Okay. Good evening, miss. Excuse me, what? What is this all about? Okay. Let's go with some polite. I'm gonna go with good evening. Good evening, miss. You are addressing the Prince of New York City, Helene Panhard, child of Michaela. Okay, so that's the thing. For the Camarilla, which is one of the sect of vampires, the head of their group for a particular territory is called a prince. Now that's regardless of gender or anything like that. It's always called a prince. And some of the other sects have different terms for a roughly similar position, but there we go. So you're being brought before the prince to have a little discussion. So obviously this won't mean all that much to her. Thank you, my sheriff, but I'm capable of introducing myself. Okay, so this brings a whole different intensity to this person. So, especially since the guy that brought me here is the sheriff, which is a whole other thing. She is somewhat plain looking, doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm, but still the entire room is inherently focused on her voice. She has influence over these people, that much is clear. Prince Panhard. You may address me as Prince, child. I realize your introduction to unlife was abrupt, and I understand your sire left shortly thereafter. The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transaction. Yep, I mean, yeah. It should be the sire, the one that made her, that brings her forward. The fact that he didn't is breaking the rules, but that's not really kind of on her. A murmur of agreement, maybe, can be heard from gathering audience. But I'm willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say about circumstances of your embrace. That's what they call being turned into the vampire. So I don't understand. Remain silent or embrace? Is that a euphemism? Okay. So the smart thing to do would be to remain silent and let the sheriff talk. You decide it's best to stay silent and listen to the whole situation unfold. Feels like you're out of your depth here. Shall we begin? You're about to be judged by the court of New York City. Kadir, please tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here. Oh, okay. So, right now, this guy would probably be tattling on my ass if I had tried to get away. Court? Prince? Some kind of secret society make-believe? A trusted informant, who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time, tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found them gone, but this fledgling remained in their place. A reservation made in the private lounge of the patrician suggests that the one sire had plenty of resources to spend. However, they are apparently also well connected. I lost track of them. Despite some reservations, she offered little resistance last night and cooperated on our way to the safe house. I was pleased to not have to force her compliance. Opening the door to the safe house tonight, I was greeted by a most disturbing sight of her drenched in regurgitated blood. Apparently, bagged blood we kept in the fridge was not to her liking. The remarks elicits a contemptuous chuckle from one of the gathered guests as they note the remains of the blood on your skirt. It was not an elegant sight, but that hardly matters, as I suppose. Moving on. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged her to join me, which she did without a struggle. A pleasant departure from my usual routine, I must say. During our drive here, she showed me her fangs, metaphorically speaking, posturing as if we were equals, insulting me when it didn't work. I refrained from causing her physical harm, but I expect her ego might still be a little bruised. He looks at you and flashes a nasty smile. Okay, so I didn't make any friends. Story ends with us arriving at Elysium tonight. So, in Elysium is basically where they hold court. It's a safe place, no fighting, no janky, there's politics involved, but you're not supposed to fight, no werewolves, all sorts of things. They have rules. So, and you follow those rules, or you either get ejected or punished. All eyes are on you again. You take a special interest in one of the faces. It's a beautiful woman with curly, almost blood-red hair and a dress to match. You see her whispering to some bespectacled man with an absent-minded look on his face. Who is she, you wonder? Thank you, Kadir. I take note of this fledgling's behavior and will take it into consideration later. Alright, so I played this pretty good. She turns her attention to you. First, there's a matter of your sire, the person who brought you where Kadir picked you up last night. Who were they? Ooh, okay, sire, what does it matter? Okay, so we're going to answer honestly. Handsome businessman, an entrepreneur, acquaintance of my boss, I think. Good-looking, pale blue eyes, some gray in his hair, charming, abusive, cold son of a bitch. You feel tired, angry, whole situation, spending the day in some underground parking lot, having to bear the looks of a room full of strangers. It's almost too much to take in stride. There's no reason you should take it all in stride, but you do, because if there's one thing your professional career has taught you, it's that. Because of that asshole, whoever he was, he never even gave you his name or a card. Nothing. Well, Kadir, does that sound familiar? No, it does not, or at least not familiar enough. I will continue to search after we're done here. Ooh, can I go now? What happens now? He talked to somebody at the restaurant. Ooh, okay, so let's get this sleazebag up. That man, he talked to somebody at the restaurant before he left. I can't remember what he said, but he wasn't alone. Maybe that's a lead you can follow? Did he now? That is interesting. I do hope the proprietor won't stay mad at us for losing one of his staff. It's almost like he knows the waiter's fate is still bothering you and takes pleasure in pointing it out. Thank you for that observation. I will investigate it. Later. What shall I do with the fledgling, my prince? What is your recommendation, my sheriff? The traditions, the long-standing rules of Camarilla, are clear. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny shall be slain. I am ready to fulfill my duty. Oh, man, dude's ready to stake me right here. Stay your hand just for a moment longer, Kadir. I wish to consult my counsel on this. Make sure everyone's in agreement. So what that means is that basically a prince has a council of the different vampire clans. So anywhere from between 5, 7, something like that, depending on, the variety of types of clans in your territory. And, depending on whether you like some or don't like some of them, you might include or exclude some of them. Politics, you get it. So what that is she's got like a whole council that, brings things up, things like that. Of course. He seems strangely relieved. So he doesn't actually want to do this job. Or rather, to take me out. The prince leaves the main showroom, and a handful of people follow her out. You're about to ask this Kadir what all the talk of traditions and councils was when the red-haired woman approaches the two of you. Sophie. Sheriff? I was wondering if I could have a word with you, with the fledgling. Before. She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Kadir. We all know that the verdict is going to be, let me speak to them. You might not have to stain your hands tonight, after all. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions are struggling for domination. Anger, sadness, gratitude, resolve. I'll go get my sword. Steps out of the room the way you came, and you are left in the showroom with the woman in the red dress. She takes you aside, and the eyes of the remaining guests follow you. Well then, fledgling, you're quite the pickle. So, okay, what do you mean? What was that about a sword? Maybe you'll tell me what the hell this is. Ooh, okay, so I could be sassy, focus on the sword, or kind of be really standoffish, but I'm going to go with, what do you mean? So we're going to stay polite. What do you mean? I still don't understand what my crime is here. Poor thing. This really isn't your fault, but if you want to get out of here in one piece, you need to understand one crucial fact that seems to have eluded your grasp. Last night, you became a vampire. Wait, what? Oh yes, I'm well aware of how ridiculous that sounds. It's the reason why we have these nicer words for it. Kindred, being embraced, having a sire. Fact remains. The beings called vampires, you're looking at them. They're us. You glance around, some of the guests are still occasionally looking at you, commenting on you in hushed tones. Maybe the patrons are pale. Really pale. Most hold glasses of wine, or what you thought was wine. No, not wine. Not the right thickness, and not the right color either. You're trying to come up with something sensible to say, but you're drawing a blank. It makes a morbid kind of sense. You drank blood last night, no denying it, and your breathing has not returned. Your heart remains still. A vampire. Two voices in your head start battling for supremacy. One of them slowly begins to put everything to what happened since yesterday together, coming to a conclusion that no matter how insane it might seem, nothing but what she's saying makes sense. The other voice keeps saying, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" on repeat. You're surprised? This is often how it plays out by design. Kadir deliberately keeping you in the dark and all. If we do nothing, you will be cut down. As sure as day follows night. You know, I bet she's a Toreador. She's awfully nice. Well, I won't say nice. She's getting her foot in the door. Or maybe making an ally out of me. I'm here to offer you a chance, a way out, under one condition. I will take you under my wing. If you're lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and Kadir's complaints about your behavior won't influence her judgment. Society values docility. I mean, she's right about that. She might agree to this, but only if you swear fealty to me. Ooh, okay. See, I see where this is going, and we're heading into dangerous waters with this. I'm not making this offer lightly. As your patron, I will take responsibility for you. Your actions will reflect on me, and if they reflect negatively, well, I'll make sure you face the consequences. Okay. Oh, this is okay. I'm curious. So we have, what happens if I agree? What if I refuse? How will you convince the prince? Oh, okay. I'm really curious. Let's go with how will you convince the prince? You're saying the prince might have other plans for me? What will you offer to convince her? You'll see for yourself, hopefully. Know this, there are certain traditions and history of our society in the city that I can tap into. My word might not carry that much weight, but it's not easily ignored either. Steps and hushed voices can be heard from the side room. Seems the prince and her council are returning to the showroom. Kadir appears from downstairs as well and starts walking towards you. I hope he doesn't have that sword with him. When you hear the verdict, ask to be spared. I will intervene. Remember the condition. She flashes a heart-melting smile towards Kadir, who does not smile back. The sheriff's immaculate suit is now complemented by a curved, oriental-looking metal scabbard fastened with a colorful sash around his wrist. Oh boy. Okay, so he really did bring the sword. It would look vaguely ridiculous if it wasn't surprisingly intimidating, first and foremost. Kadir takes his place next to you and observes as the prince takes center stage again. Loyal kindred of the New York City Camarilla. Gathering here tonight, I have made my decision regarding this fledgling. Their behavior since being embraced has been disagreeable. Oh, damn. I get the feeling that no matter what I did, she would say that. And that does not bode well for them becoming a valuable member of our society. You are all keenly aware of the nights we need to close our ranks, trust the wisdom of our elders, and their traditions more than ever. As our trusted sheriff pointed out, there can be only one course of action. Although I acknowledge some of my council's divergent opinions on this, she takes a look specifically at one of the people who left the room before, a somewhat plainly dressed, shy-looking man whose skin is somewhat healthier tone. He bows his head in deference. I hold the final authority over the fledgling's fate, and I declare that while the embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in their absence it is the progeny that shall be punished. Well, that's a dick move. The sentence is final, to be resolved presently. Kadir. Oh boy. You hear a scraping sound and see that the sheriff has unsheathed his curved sword. It's a beautifully detailed blade which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparently sharpness makes you freeze up. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. What? Dude, I got 1 strike. His quiet mumble is inaudible to nobody but you, as he really is a Mets fan. As his eyes meet yours, you note just a hint of sadness in his countenance, one that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination. And he's out to bat. You will not get another chance to speak up. Oh, damn. So, my 3 choices. Ask for mercy, escape the gallery, or remain silent. That's a good question. I think I'm going to actually take her up on it. Ask for mercy. You make your choice. Spare me, please. Don't make me beg, god damn it. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer. Kadir looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at a moment's notice. Is there something you'd like to say, Ms. Langley? Yes, if I may. At first, the prince looks somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The board elites suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. The prince nods. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward, all eyes on her now, but Kadir's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance, they could become an asset to our domain. And I understand you are volunteering to take this unruly child under your protection. Yes, I'm willing to give them a chance and prove the entire domain that they can adhere to our expectations. I will take nothing less than their full cooperation. Naturally. Whispers can be heard again. An incredulous voice or two, a hushed, just had the fucker, some suppressed exclamations of surprise. Silence. I ask all of you to make a note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. What that means is that, Sophie, if I mess up, everything, and I do mean everything, is going to fall back on Sophie. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish to shoulder, Ms. Langley? I am willing to guide this fledgling and to add a valuable ally to our sect in the time of need. Yes, but I would like to receive the right of destruction over them, if it pleases you. Ooh, okay. The right thing here would be to shut the hell up. So I can remain silent, or say, give me a chance to prove myself, Prince, or this wasn't part of the deal. I'm going to go ahead and say and remain silent to see how this plays out. It's clear tensions are high. I feel surreal listening to the strangers discuss your death. Or it is. Or second death, apparently. And keeping silent. You decide it's for the best to let Sophie handle this alone and not interject. You have no idea how to handle his eyes wide shut crowd. The prince looks at you as if weighing your worth. She takes another good measure of the room before she speaks again. I shall grant you what you ask. Let it be known, Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose, definitely a Toreador, will become this fledgling's patron. They shall be considered like sire and child. Ms. Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I grant her right of destruction, if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear. However, if I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla, substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Ms. Langley? Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, child? Alright, so shouldn't I use a nickname? Will I even have the chance to use it? Okay, so I can be sassy, lie, or just be honest of what I know about the Vampire the Masquerade. Just be honest. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla. So, there we get some information. Now, this evening has proved to be more eventful than I anticipated, but with a fledgling. Okay, so now they're showing words in red. What that means is basically I'll be able to look them up in the a dictionary later, which I'll show at some point. I believe our meeting here can conclude. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Kadir, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties? Of course, Prince. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched, you will be judged, and if need be, you will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, I think we've both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new, fruitful partnership. She raises a hand to one of the well-dressed concierges who have now appeared in the showroom to fill the guests' glasses. Conveniently handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. The memory of throwing up in the safe house is still fresh in your mind, and the idea that it could happen again is almost enough to reject the drink altogether, but there's no denying you want it. You need it. I remember what Kadir said about your misadventure before getting in the car. Some of us have more delicate palates than others. Try to take a small sip, s'il vous plaît. He pours it into two tall glasses. You can barely wait until he hands you the drink. Your attention is wholly on it. The fact that it's blood, you're certain of it, doesn't faze you this time. It's difficult to take just a sip. Even though it tastes is as foul as before, you're tempted to down the whole glass in one go. You wait before taking a second taste. You're glad you did. A feeling like heartburn signals that you can't keep it down. You spit it back inside the glass. Sophie looks on, intrigued. I'm not surprised. New York City caterers have very bourgeoisie, bourge, at least I believe that's ideas about what good blood should taste like. Well, you just need to keep trying. Sophie's request, the concierge serves you three other variants of blood. The first two are as horrible and indigestible as before. Both ending up back in the glass within moments tasting them. Before you try a third try, you're almost ready to throw the glass at the wall in frustration. But finally, this one's different. Instead of mud and decay, surprisingly rich bouquet of tastes. You feel blissfully at ease, and Sophie takes notice. Ah, there it is. Jacob, would you kindly let us know who the donor was? Leave the bottle, please. Concierge nods, leaves. You take another sip, and another. You empty the glass. The dull feeling in your stomach and head starts subsiding, but you want more. Sophie pours you another glass, refills her. She takes a sip. You have a curiously specific taste. Is it the clover notes? The traces of caffeine? Or that bittersweet aftertaste of melancholy? You taste nothing of the kind, and it doesn't matter. It's tasty, but not as delicious as it was last night. Not as intoxicating. It, it manages to silence the hunger, somewhat though. Drinking blood puts you at ease. It is a strange realization. The man named Jacob comes back with a small card and leaves it with Sophie. She takes a quick look, passes it on to you. Somebody's medical details. An office worker, male, Caucasian, 32, blood type ABRH positive. I don't know what ABRH. I just know like the A B O pos, like all that. No history of substance abuse. New Jersey native. Might one of these detail be what makes the difference? Now that we have picked up the right bouquet for your palate, these documents should be useful in identifying your exact taste. Or should they be ORH positive or Joyzy Boys? But I believe you have more questions. No, perhaps we should start with those related to substance. Sustenance. So, with that, before we really get into more of the details of this, I'm going to cut it off here. And next time, we are going to continue on finding out more of this story. I'm super excited. I'm having lots of fun just sort of getting into this story. And I hope you guys have been enjoying it. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe and check out some of my other stuff, including if you're really into VR content. I've got some Vampire the Masquerade Justice, which is a very action, lots of story. It's really good. I really enjoyed that one. Definitely go check it out. And if you're more into more retro stuff, I've got live streams most of the week at 8:30 Eastern time. Go check some of those out. We're talking Mario RPG, Final Fantasy VI, whole host of things. And I hope to see you again. Have a good one.